Okay, so today we're on the move again. I hope you don't mind, but I did want to get this information out to you. I know that right now is a difficult time if you're looking at having to get long-term care for your parent, and you need as much information as possible so you can make good decisions. So I'm going to talk about if this is a nursing home type scenario that you're going to be forced to look at. Not home health care, not assisted living. I'll explain why in a few minutes. But nursing home scenario, and you have a mom and a dad, and one is going to a nursing home and the other is not going to be going to the nursing home, and they're still married, right? They live together. One's got to go, one stays home. How does the person at home afford to stay at home? And it's called spousal diversion. That's the Medicaid terminology for allowing the person at home, the community spouse, to get income from the nursing home applicant or the confined person. So the way it works is that the person at home, again, the community spouse, can have $2,113 of income by reaching over and getting money out of the pocket of the confined spouse. So in other words, let's say that the person living at home has a $1,000 Social Security check. The confined person has $2,000 in income. We'll assume Social Security. So they have a combined income of $3,000 together. The person at home can't live on $1,000. It's below the poverty level. So the government says, all right, well, if the confined person has income, we'll let the community spouse reach over into the pocket of the confined spouse and get enough income or enough money to bring themselves up to $2,113 of gross income. So when I say gross income, I'm talking about before deductions for Medicare Part B, before taxes, before anything else. So what would the check be if there were no deductions? That's what they go by. The community spouse can have $2,113. If they don't have that much, they can get it out of the pocket of the confined spouse each month. Now, there is a way to get more than that. There's in fact two ways to get more than that. One way is if there's excess housing costs. So if there's a mortgage, taxes, insurance, utilities, all those basic property expenses, if they exceed more than $658 in a month, then for every dollar over $658, the community spouse can keep an additional dollar of income from the confined spouse. So if the community spouse can have $2,113 and they only have $1,000 on their own, that means that they can keep $1,113 of the confined spouse without any excess housing. So they're up to $2,113. Now, if there's excess housing, let's say $1,658 just to keep it simple, right? That's $1,000 in excess housing. So they could reach over and get up to $1,000 additional dollars out of the pocket of the confined spouse. The confined spouse doesn't have an additional $1,000, right? They only have $887. So the community spouse can go ahead and get that $887 under the scenario where there is excess housing costs. Now, there is a second way to get additional income above the $2,113 if there are no excess housing costs or not enough to get all of the income of the person that's confined. Then you can go to court and ask the judge to do a spousal support order without a dissolution of marriage. It usually costs between $2,500 and $3,000 total, and the judge can order Medicaid to allow a greater amount of income. All right, so here's the point. The point is that the community spouse does not have to live in poverty if they can get money from the confined spouse. Now, one other thing to consider here is the community spouse. Let's say the person, let's say the community spouse is the spouse with most of the income, and we're switching scenarios now, right? So let's say they have $4,000 a month in income, and the person in the nursing home only has $1,000. Well, they can keep all $4,000. If they have $8,000, they can keep all $8,000. So the community spouse can have unlimited income. But if they don't have at least the 2113, they can reach over and get money as explained. If they have excess housing, they can get money as explained. And if they need more than that, they can get a court order as explained. Okay, so now you understand spousal diversion. Hope that helps. If you would like to talk about this, if you have any questions, give me a ring. Happy to talk to you, explain it to you in more detail. Anyway, thanks.